Welcome back to Mental Health with More. I'm Mar from RL Media. This episode is about teen dating, and we have two special guests, Mr. Dietrich and Dr. George. Let's start with an introduction.
Dr. John George. I'm the counselor for ME through SK at the high school.
My name is Mr. Dietrich. I am a social studies teacher at the high school. I teach government and personal finance. And I am also the head bowling coach and the JV baseball coach and the executive council advisor for the class of 2027.
So now that we know a little bit more about them, let's get started. I first asked them about their relationship and what it was like for them to date in high school. So let's take a look.
I would say it was one of infatuation, heading towards obsession, actually. We met on a missions trip. She was from Richmond, Virginia, which was a little farther away from Pennsylvania. So we had the long distance relationship. It made it very difficult to continue strong in our relationship because of the distance. And that was before email, internet, those kind of things. I was more interested in her and developing that relationship to the point where I would spend hours writing to her or on the phone with her, spending a weekend driving hours and hours to go visit her and come back. So the amount of time I had left wasn't very much, not only for my family and my other interests, but also for friends, but also for school. So I saw, looking back, I saw a drop in my grades and interests. Didn't spend as much time focused in practice. I played soccer, basketball, baseball, those kind of things. So I saw an overall decline in a lot of areas of my life.
In high school, I didn't have a girlfriend until my senior year, but we dated throughout my senior year and into college. But that relationship was really good. It was my first relationship, like my first real relationship. And it was good in high school while I had it. But I think things that I didn't address and my partner didn't address early on kind of made more negative effects in our future. Yeah, so social life, that's really where it kind of took a hit. And I didn't really realize it until my friends started saying things where, like, again, I felt like I had a healthy relationship with my partner, but it took away from my social life where I was prioritizing my relationship and my significant other over everything else in my life, which was, it sounds nice, like being able to prioritize your partner and being there for them and wanting to always spend your time with them, but I didn't have a balance. And then as our relationship continued to progress, it just felt more resentful of that my social life feels like it had been kind of slowly being taken away. And then I'm like, well, what if I would have had a better balance? Would it, the relationship have been stronger, more healthy?
Now that we've heard a little bit more about their stories, let's talk statistics. According to Pew Research Center, 35% of teens have had a high school relationship. That doesn't sound like a lot, but think about our school and other schools in the U.S. That number is high in the grand scheme of things. It's normal to date somebody in high school, but it's also okay to not date anybody throughout high school at all. If you decide to date, make sure to keep a balance. Mr. Dietrich and Dr. George spoke about their experience, so let's see what they have to say about this.
I would say communication is one of the big ones. And being honest and just saying, hey, I want to continue this friendship, or, if there's some misunderstandings, to be able to go to that person and work out those kind of problems. Because relationships are so important. And I think that having space and time, giving other people like space to be able to explore other things, and that builds on trust as well.
The biggest thing is, like, you're still young, and it's not to be anti-relationship in high school, but be able to understand, like, what you want in not only a partner, but what do you want to get out of high school, and what do you want to get out of your young life? For some, it may be like you want to settle down and find that life partner, but it's also recognizing that you are still young and you want to be able to prioritize yourself.
Just to repeat what they said, it is important to communicate with your partner as well as finding a balance between school and your social life. Unfortunately, some relationships get to a point where they aren't healthy anymore. Here are some signs to look out for just in case. Youth.gov has some good insight about this, and some signs that they mentioned was dishonesty, manipulation, and control. If you feel like you're seeing some of these signs in your relationship, don't hesitate to talk to your counselor, as they can help you navigate through your relationship. Thank you to Mr. Dietrich and Dr. George for their stories and advice. Remember, you are loved and you matter. I'm Mar from RL Media, and I'll see you in the next episode.